know, that's your opinion. And having shot this video, I just want you to walk us through it again, because it's not shot in the format um, that would make it clear on television. So explain to our viewers what we're seeing, how close to the officer, where the shooter was, where the officer was.
Okay. Basically, came out to the balcony. I did hear some popping sounds. I did think it was fireworks at first. Came out. Man had a rifle, AR-15, clear as day. Pretty big magazine. And you can see towards the end of the video here, he goes ahead and drops a few mags. So
this is him behind the railing. This is him behind the railing next to the column, correct?
Yeah, this is him right here to the right of that white pillar. Shooting to the left, goes ahead, turns around, shoots to the right, shoots on the other side of the pillar. He was shooting at something and aiming at somebody. Then he, turned around, checked his back, made sure there was no one coming. But the officer did come across the right side of the screen to that pillar to the right and try to take him one-on-one in a firefight, and it didn't end very well. And it's just very tragic.
And that's the officer getting shot right there?
No, I didn't get video of the officer getting shot. That is the officer down right there. It was it looked like an execution, honestly. He stood over him after he was already down, shot him maybe 3 or 4 more times in the back. So at that point, I didn't know if he was confirmed dead or anything, obviously, but he was down for about 5 more minutes until anybody can come get to him.
How far away from the suspect were you, and how clearly could you see him?
Maybe about 50 yards.
What did he look like?
Honestly, in the video, I don't know the exact skin color. I can't, throw that out there, but he did have some tactical pants on. He had a tactical green shirt on. I honestly don't know what race he was. I can't, just throw out a race out there. But it did look planned. I mean, he just parked and he knew where to stand and opened fire. He had ammo ready. He was ready to go.
Is this his car with the flashers?
So yeah, that's his Chevy Tahoe right there. It's a late model Chevy Tahoe. So he just got out of there, walked over to the pillar, put a magazine in, was ready, and started firing.
And where did he go afterwards? Did he drive away in the car?
No, afterwards, what he did, after he killed the policeman, he walked over to the right, towards the right of the screen, around the corner, and went up, he went west down Elm Street, towards El Centro College, down that alley over there. So after that, I just got live on Facebook and it was just going on from there. I didn't get anything else. I didn't get them on video.
Was he standing over? Was it execution style?
I would say so. When he shot the officer at first, the officer was clearly down. Was already, he was already done, and stood over him again and just popped another 3-4 rounds into him, and it was honestly very, very just disturbing to watch.
It's just unbelievable that you caught this on videotape, and I'm sure it was just a surreal moment for you.
Yeah, it was really troubling. I came away to did a little staycation, had a few days off, and wanted to relax and I'm going tomorrow morning to work. I was hoping get a good night's rest, and something like this happened. It was definitely troubling.
Yeah. So you said, and I'm gonna read what you said to our producers, okay, and then you can also walk me through it.
Okay.
You're staying at a hotel downtown. I don't want to say what hotel you're staying at. Don't say that.
Okay.
You heard the shooting. You started filming. You said the shooter had lots of 30-round magazines, correct?
Yeah, that's my guesstimate. They weren't, short mags. They were definitely, high capacity magazines.
So many that you say they were falling out of his pocket?
Yeah, he dropped about 2 of them. You can see at the end of the video, he dropped 2 of them coming out of his pocket. He did have multiple pockets. You can't see in the resolution of the video, but he did have about 3 or 4 pockets coming down the front of his pants.
You said it looked like he was wearing body armor.
Yeah, he did definitely look like he was wearing something underneath his shirt. The police officer did shoot him in the back, but it did not faze him. It literally, he just turned around and shot the officer as if like nothing ever happened. So I could only assume there, unless he was a really, really big guy, if he had some kind of body armor on underneath that t-shirt.
You said that you watched an officer sneak up behind the shooter and then watch the shooter turn around and shoot the officer multiple times.
Yes, sir. Yeah. He came up behind the right pillar, the pillar just to the right of him, and was hiding with his back to the pillar. Turned around, shot about 3 shots, maybe hit him with 1. The assailant turned right around, came around the corner. The officer thought he came around the other side of the pillar. That's when he caught the officer from the back and shot the officer.
At first, you say the guy was shooting wildly. Was he just shooting randomly, or was he aiming directly for that officer?
When I stepped out to the balcony, he was shooting into the intersection, shooting into a parking lot. But then he directed his fire. Obviously, some police officers were on the corner over there on the left side of the video, and he started directing his fire that way. So maybe he was trying to get commotion going, or to get the cops' attention. That's all speculation, obviously. But that's from what I gathered from it.
And how long before other officers showed up? Other officers showed up to help, correct?
Oh, it was quick. I would say about after the shooting started, maybe about 2-3 minutes, honestly, if that.
Unbelievable. If you're just tuning in, I'm on the phone with Ishmael De Jesus. He was in a hotel across from where one of the officers was shot. He's on the phone with us live, and you see his video up there now, and he's describing to us what happened. Let's take you back to the beginning of this video. Again, it's very difficult to watch and listen to, and then we'll continue our conversation with Ishmael De Jesus. Play it. Okay, everyone, if you're just joining us, it is 1 a.m. Eastern time. I'm Don Lemon, live in New York. We're reporting on the death of 3 officers, at least 4 officers, killed in Dallas this evening. 11 officers shot. We're speaking now to an eyewitness to one of those officers being shot and killed. He witnessed this and shot the video from his hotel room. We're speaking to Ishmael De Jesus on the phone right now. Ishmael tells us that the shooter drove up in the black SUV, or the dark SUV that you can see there, started shooting wildly at an intersection. A police officer quickly engaged him. And then what happened after that, Ishmael?
Right after the first officer that responded was actually the officer that was fatally shot. This officer, without any fear, he didn't care. He went up and stood up to that pillar. He was, engaged in a firefight. Came up to the back of the assailant, shot a few rounds. Wasn't able to, damage him or, wound him at all. The assailant then turned around, came around the corner, the corner to where the back of the officer was, and he ended up shooting the officer point blank, about maybe a foot, half a foot away. It was just point blank. There's no way he was missed. Then stood over the police officer as he was down, and then shot him another maybe 3 or 4 times in the back. And you know, it was extremely, saddening and tragic to watch that happen.